Alright guys, welcome back to Kyle's Best of 7. Today is the day that I've been waiting for, and the day I hope a lot of you guys have been waiting for. A lot of you guys have asked when we're going to do this video, and I was never really sure because I didn't know if I wanted to do it in order, or if I wanted to save the best for last, or if I wanted to get the best done first. Obviously, I just decided to go in order, which I'm happy about because the pitching is probably the most important out of all of it. So if I can help you guys find the 7 best starting pitchers, the 7 best relief pitchers / closing pitchers for you guys to use on your guys' teams, that means I'm doing my job, because there's a lot of guys that are expensive that aren't necessarily that good, and there's a lot of guys that are cheap that are good that you necessarily maybe wouldn't give a chance originally. So I'm going to be going over, as you guys know, value-wise, who the best are, meaning price consideration, the guys that you get for free. I'm going to be power ranking them based off of how much value they hold as a player. Now, as an example, you have a guy like Tony Gwynn, right? Tony Gwynn is free to get, and then you have a guy like Griffey, who isn't free to get. When you compare those two, obviously Griffey's stats come off as a little bit better, but when you talk about value and having a free guy that's just on your bench, Tony Gwynn holds more value in my opinion. So that's kind of the example that I'm giving you guys for this. So that's how I'm going to be approaching it with the starting pitchers, which is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be going over with you guys my 7 best starting pitchers in MLB The Show 19. All right, let's get started. Number 7. Now, if I haven't stressed this point enough yet, and if you haven't listened to this yet, please pay attention to it now. This list is specifically and majorly my personal preference. The reason why I'm stressing it more in this video is because there are so many good starting pitchers in this game that it's hard to choose a top 7. No matter what, there's going to be somebody that you guys like that is not going to be on this list. That is going to happen. But make sure that you know that I've tried a lot of these guys out. I've faced a lot of these guys, and I faced them all on Legend. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these guys, and I know my reasoning for ranking these guys. So just make sure that you guys keep that in mind before you come and you say who I'm missing and why I'm so stupid for missing them, all right? But I do want to hear you guys, I do want to hear your guys' opinions on it. So I need you guys to do 2 things. 1, let me know in the comments below who your top 7 pitchers are, or you could even give me your top 3 if you need to. And 2, let me know if for the next video you want me to combine relief pitchers and closing pitchers, or if you want me to go over them each individually in different videos. Let me know and I'll take care of that. All right, let's get to number 7. Number 7 is Bob Feller. Now, this is a card that I used for a pretty long time in my team. It felt like I used him a pretty long time. Let's look at his stats. Okay, not too long. I used him for 14 games. He went 5-2 with a 4.32 ERA. Not the best, but his stats overall make him really good. And I think a big problem with Bob Feller is I probably used him a lot on Hall of Fame and All-Star coming up 2 World Series, so that probably kind of harmed his stats a little bit. But as you can see, for these pitchers, we're not going to necessarily be going over the per 9s too much. We're mostly going to be going over their pitch repertoire and their pitch speeds, because that's what truly matters. Obviously, their hits and K per 9 matters. They say home run per 9 doesn't matter anymore, but their walks per 9 matters too, velocity, break, all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So for Bob Feller, as you can see, 98 velocity, 99 break. He has a 4-seam, a 12-6, a slider, a changeup, and a sinker. Now, for those of you guys that play this game a lot, you know that that's the best possible pitch repertoire you could have. I mean, it literally is. I'm not sure which of those pitches I would change for what. I mean, that is the perfect pitch repertoire. So let's get that out of the way right now. That's what makes him so good. And then you look at his pitch differential, his pitch speed differentials. His fastball taps out at 102, and he has this curveball that gets 78. So the speed differential can definitely fool somebody. He has a high stamina rating, 123, 100 hits per 9, 124 K per 9. His walks per 9 is his only flaw. It is hard to control him. It's pretty easy to miss pitches with him. That's the only reason why he's a little bit higher on this list. Obviously, with these stats and these pitches, it would be really easy to put him in top 3 or 4, but it's just the walks per 9 kind of does it for me to where he's not in my rotation anymore, so that should be able to tell you. But he's more than worthy of being number 7. Number 7, Bob Feller. Number 6, somebody you guys may not agree with, but somebody that I consistently have struggled against. This man, Bert Blyleven. Now, if you guys have watched my pitching tips video, I make a really clear point on how it is important to tunnel pitches. Tunneling pitches basically means you're disguising pitches to look like previous pitches that you've thrown, but they drop down at different angles or go in different directions. This is important because the batter that you're facing is often going to have a specific eye level wherever they look to look for certain pitches for them to know what pitch they're reacting to. You get what I'm saying? And with Bert Blyleven, I've always had trouble deciphering whether it is a fastball or it's a 12-6 or a curve. So it's always the slightest misses with my PCI that results in me either rolling balls over, popping out, or even striking out when I'm not expecting the fastball. This is probably the pitcher that I struggled with against the most in the whole game. Out of every single starting pitcher, Bert Blyleven I struggle with the most. The only reason he's number 6 on my list is because not everybody holds those same struggles. I used him for a while. I was 6-1 with him, but he did have a 6.1 ERA, so that's not very good. I only used him for 8 games. I actually think I may buy him back again now that he's cheaper. He's only $25,000 right now, so that price makes him definitely a top 7 pitcher. But if it isn't for that, it would be nice if he had a slider. But even without that, he has a curveball as his main pitch, which means he's never going to lose confidence in that unless he gets rocked. But I'm saying you could use that curveball as much as you want, and they're not going to punish you for being repetitive with it. And he has a 4-seam, a 12-6, and a changeup with a 2-seam that moves a decent amount. As you can see, he has a 99 break rating. He has 121 stamina, which means you could depend on him to go innings for you. And he has 104 K per 9, decent control. Overall, he's a very good pitcher. Number 6 on my list. Number 5 is Justin Verlander. I believe he was the 3rd inning thing. I'm not really good with that stuff. He was with Madison Bumgarner and Miguel Cabrera, though. This card, absolutely. It was Bumgarner and Miggy, right? Yeah. Had to have been. Anyways, this card, another amazing pitch repertoire. The only difference with him and other guys is that instead of a sinker, he has a cutter, which is completely fine. Cutters are amazing in this game too. He tops out at 101. He has a 80-mile-per-hour curve that moves a lot. Decent slider. That cutter definitely helps, and a decent circle change. 114 stamina, 105 K per 9, 88 walks per 9, which is okay, and 92 velocity rating, 99 brake rating. Now the thing with Verlander is that I have kind of swayed away from him for a little bit, and then I decided that I can't have a rotation without him. I have him in my rotation. He's not going to ever leave my rotation. I like using Verlander. For some reason, I love facing him, and I think that's why I decided to take him out of my rotation originally, is because I was hitting well against him, but that's really a stupid reason to take him out of your rotation if you're having success with him. So with that being said, I decided to keep him in. He's my number 4 starter, and yeah, I'll go over his stats right now. They obviously... No, I don't think any of my pitching stats are going to look very good because of how hard pitching been this year, but he's 25-8 with 3.81 ERA in 49 games. I'm really surprised he doesn't have more games than that. But overall, I've really liked Justin Verlander. His pitch repertoire is basically flawless. Throws hard, has good break. With all that being said, it's pretty cheap now after being out for so long. And I think Justin Verlander is definitely a top 5 guy and should be in your starting rotation. Justin Verlander, number 5. Now, number 4 may be a surprise to you guys, and this is what I'm talking about value. Adam Wainwright is a Sony partner mission, basically, that you unlock by doing the Sony partner moments. You guys know how close I am with Twin. This was his Sony partner moment where he basically got to choose a card that we got to try to unlock by doing his moments. And I'm thankful that it was Adam Wainwright, probably one of my favorite Sony partner cards because he's a player that I've used clearly the whole year and won't stop using. Now, his stats won't look crazy impressive, his attributes, but I can assure you, Hall of Fame difficulty, Legend difficulty, Adam Wainwright is a great pitcher. He should be in your starting 5 rotation, I believe. He's free. That's also what makes him amazing. You don't have to waste stubs because you have a quality guy who can get the job done, who's not going to get rocked unless you pitch awkwardly with him. But overall, there's no reason to shy away from him. He's free, and I promise you he gets the job done. If you haven't used him yet, the moments are easy. Just do it. Get him. Put him in your rotation. He's free. As you can see, 22-5 with him. 5.41 ERA. Don't judge it by the ERA, I'm telling you guys. Because a lot of these guys I have a higher ERA with. So you guys know how it goes. But I can assure you, you guys don't trust these stats. I'm showing you just to be transparent so you guys know. But I'm mostly showing you to prove to you that I do use these guys. And I'm not just feeding you guys false words. But please, try him. Use him. There's nothing to lose. He's free. If you don't like him, he was free. If you do like him, you can throw him in there. There's nothing to lose at all. Adam Wainwright, my number 4 starter. Number 3 is Tom Seaver. Now, this feels iffy to me because I feel that I have had... Number 3 is Tom Seaver. Now, Tom Seaver is a perfect example of a perfect pitch repertoire. As you can see, 4-seam, sinker, slider, 12-6, changeup. And you look how slow his 12-6 and changeup are. If they're selling out on fastball, they are going to be flailing on that off speed. This is probably the pitcher that I get the most flailing swings with. It's definitely Tom Seaver. He has a great stamina. All of his per nines are amazing. I feel like I'm not going to take too long on Tom Seaver because I feel like all of you guys use him. Everybody should use him. I'm not trying to bore you guys too much by rambling too long about somebody that we all use and we all know how they do. But overall, Tom Seaver, he's not that expensive anymore. I feel like he's the 3rd best pitcher in the game. You guys may think differently. I could have switched him, and honestly, I actually prefer Wainwright over Tom Seaver. I just know that Tom Seaver is supposed to be a lot better. So I was actually considering putting Wainwright 3rd just because of how he's performed for me when I needed him to. But I felt that it really didn't matter because I was going to explain the positives of both of them. But overall, Tom Seaver is a very good pitcher. If you know how to use his pitches correctly, you can shut somebody out easily. That sinker, you got to utilize that sinker and definitely take advantage of that off speed with the curveball and the changeup because, man, you will get guys flailing, I promise. His K per 9, everything about him is good. He's a great pitcher, and I suggest you have him if somehow you don't, but I'm sure you do. But Tom Seaver is number 3. Now, number 2, as I'm sure you guys knew, Garrett Cole. This card just came out. He's a finest card. I can't remember how many finest cards you need to get him exactly. I believe it was 21. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am wrong. But you have to unlock a certain amount of finest cards in order to get this Garrett Cole. So he's not on the marketplace, but he is well worth it. Especially because some of those finest cards are really good and you could quick sell them. So there's no reason not to. But 125k per 9, jeez. 112 hits per 9, 113 stamina. They definitely did him justice with this card. He hits 102 with his 4-seam. He has a slider, he has a knuckle curve, he has a changeup, and he has a 2-seam that kind of moves like a sinker, so it definitely helps. But that I love using the slide. I love using all of his pitches. I really like using Garrett Cole. Last I checked, he can... No, can't really hit a little bit, but I definitely feel like I get a lot of hits with him when I use him, which is pretty irrelevant when you're talking about the best pitchers, but I do feel the need to add that because for some reason I feel confident when he's up to bat. But with his velocity and the movement of his pitches and just how nasty he is, he's just a really good pitcher, and I actually use him as my number 1 pitcher. Even though I don't necessarily believe he's the best pitcher in the game, I do believe there's a clear-cut number 1 in my opinion. So with that being said, we will go to him next. But Garrett Cole definitely can be a number 1, at least a number 2, but make sure to have him in your rotation, please. Now, on to the head honcho. As a Giants fan, I hate it. I hate it. How can you not? There's the two things I hate. I hate that my number 1 pitcher in the game is a Dodger, and I hate that they made the number 1 pitcher in the game available technically the very first day the game came out. It's tough. This is a card that people should have had to earn. You can't let people just walk on into Clayton Kershaw. He's a level 75 reward, not even a level 100 reward. You were able to get the best pitcher in the game. I'm trying to think if people, there had to have been some people that got him first day. I mean, people were spending a lot of money. You finish those collections, you get a lot of XP. I'm thinking that there could have been somebody who got Kershaw first day. It would have taken a lot of lack of sleep, but somebody could have done it. Anyways, Kershaw, perfect pitch repertoire. 4-seam, sinker, slider, 12-6, changeup. You guys will notice this is a trend in pitchers I like. If they don't have the pitches that I like, I don't know how to use them properly, I'm not going to be able to get outs. Simple as that. I'm sure you guys agree. With Kershaw, his 4-seam and his sinker are a nasty combination. And then his changeup adds an even nastier combination because it almost drops out like a sinker, but it drops even lower and takes a bunch of speed off of the pitch. It's just, it sounds like I'm just stating the obvious, but when you're facing him, it's just gross. I always feel like I'm in control, even when I'm facing a righty, because I'm just attacking them inside with those sliders, and I'm locating the changeup. His control is nice. It seems even better than a 92 because it just seems like he dots up whenever I need him to. 114 stamina, 107 hits per 9, 113 K per 9. This is the king of MLB The Show 19 when it comes to pitchers, you guys. I don't think anybody does not have Kershaw, and he's free. There's... Come on. What's better than that? What's better than being the best and being free? Nothing. Kershaw obviously is in all your guys' lineups. He should be. This is my top 7. I'm letting you know that he's my number 1. Hopefully he's your guys' number 1 too, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments below if he is not. Even if he is, let me know what you think about the rest of the list. I appreciate you guys a lot for watching. I appreciate you guys for your support. I will see you guys soon with the relief pitchers and the closing pitchers. Until then, peace.